Hey guys, so just got back from the theater from seeing a new horror movie, Strange Harvest. Uh, it's a movie that I have got, I did get a trailer for briefly, or one time, I think, yeah, one time I got a trailer for this movie. And it was, a trailer is like, like I said, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but like, there's so many generic titles out there that like, I don't recognize titles anymore for a lot of movies anymore, especially when come out until like I read the plot description. And this was one of them because, like, again, I only got this trailer one time, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember getting a trailer for this." I was like, "I remember that title." I it was. I said, I remember it looked weird, and it looked like it was like a found footage horror movie. I'm like, all right. And like, all right, and then, like I'd see it was getting decent reviews, and of course it's one of those fucking movies that my theater plays that only has one showtime at 10:20 at night. So like, it's again, I believe they only do that is because they know it's not going to do well, so they just only have one showtime. So which bothers the question of why the fuck are you playing it, and if you don't believe it's going to do well, I don't know. That always bugs the hell out of me. It's like gotta fill space with every like in every theater. Like I don't know. It's things that drive me nuts about movie theaters nowadays. So this was uh, a movie. Like I said, it's been getting good reviews, and I thought it was pretty fucking solid. A pretty solid horror movie. Um, you shouldn't if you don't know. You should know going in. I kind of did and didn't at the same time. This movie is presented like a documentary. Um, it's basically a mockumentary, what they call mockumentary, which is what The Office, the kind of same style like The Office, but it's a horror-esque like mockumentary, not a comedy. It's about this uh, serial killer named Mr. Shiny. Yes, that's the name. Don't yell at me. Uh, who like murders over like a 20 years, like or a span of 20 years, and it's about a bunch of cops and victims and survivor families of victims uh, that are being interviewed about this serial killer, and particularly it's a lot of the detectives that are the head detectives that are on this case that are talking about their experiences over the last 20 years trying to solve this case. It's you should like I said, you should know that going in, like uh, that it is a documentary. It's presented like a documentary. I'm sure there's gonna be some fucking. I can't wait because we live in a modern age where people are so fucking gullible and dumb. They don't believe that that this really did happen. I guarantee you, there'll be people online that think this shit really happened. I, I remember I had a buddy one time try to tell me the Texas Chainsaw Massacre fucking actually happened. No, look, I mean, yeah, I know it's based off like Ed Gein and shit like that, but what the real events were not the same as like what you saw in the movie. But anyways, getting off on a tangent. This movie is it's pretty dark. It's presented like an hour and a half true crime documentary, like ones that you would see. Some of them like what you would see on cable television, like the true crime. It also reminded me of stuff like anybody remember the show HBO, the HBO's the show on HBO that what's called Autopsy. Anybody else grow up on that? Maybe tell me in the comments if you did. I did, and like that reminded me of that show a lot because like that show was because it was HBO was not afraid to show graphic ass shit like that like would traumatize you like especially if you're like young like me and would watch that shit. You're like like that's and like there would be like some really disturbing imagery like you'd see crime scenes and the crime scenes in this movie are fucking brutal And like, although this is definitely a fucking documentary, or this is definitely a movie, not this is definitely a fake documentary because there's like musical stings whenever you would see like photos of the bodies. I don't think I've ever seen a documentary do that. But whether it be musical stings, whenever you see like a dead body or something like that, like that did drive me nuts a little bit. And it's a movie. It's basically it kind of just goes. It seems like it don't really have much of a structure. It does really it has a beginning, middle, and end, but really mainly it's a story that goes from murder to murder to murder to murder to murder that happened over 20 years, and all the little clues that are you know found out in the meantime and between those murders and like what the cops are piecing together. Like hell, at one point, like halfway through this movie, you find out who the killer is. Like it's not like a mystery. It's like presented, like I said, an actual documentary. Like hell, there's like a fucking thing at the end of the movie, like in normal any or normal documentary would like this movie's dedicated to the victims, the 14 victims of the Mr. Shiny Killer. And like that's like I mean I do like it's kind of like with the found footage when they like Paranormal Activity or what was the first Paranormal Activity where they said this was recovered footage from the FBI or something like that. The FBI found or some shit like that of the home or and so it's like kind of like that. Um, like I said, yeah, it it has like a beginning, a middle, and end. It has a story structure as far as like a narrative and stuff like that. It has a third act. Third act, I kind of feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that kind of was like let down by the third act. You expect some really crazy, wild shit, but then it just happens. It feels like it. And also, there are parts of this movie like take a shot every time the fucking lead detective, the male lead detective, talks about how you know they thought everything was over, but then they got a breakthrough. I swear he says that 5 million fucking times in this movie. And every time you take a shot, by the time the movie's over, you'd be having a fucking alcohol poisoning. Um, I swear he says that. And the acting is, yeah, there's some so acting in this movie. I'll say that. And it's not horror. It's not the worst I've ever seen. Um, almost but I give it a B. It's a solid little movie. It's not like after seeing shit like Weapons the, like a couple days ago, and then last week I saw Together. Like this is like kind of like almost a downgrade, but not entirely. Because like I don't want to say this movie's bad because it isn't. It's a pretty solid little movie, and like it is effective. It is creepy in a lot of parts, and I give it a lot of credit. It's like it's a pretty solid little movie, horror movie. Not one of my favorites, but it was definitely a pretty solid one. What was that weird ass trailer that I got in front of this movie? That it's one of those gimmicky trailers for horror movies that I haven't seen in quite a while. Where it's like this movie is so shocking, we can't even show you the trailer. Like what? Fuck off. Like, this movie is so scary. I can't show you the trailer. It's a movie that you don't witness. You survive the movie. I'm like, God. I remember it's a really stupid title. I forget what the fuck it. It's like I was like, it's. I bet you it's gonna be overhyped to death, and it's just gonna be okay. That's about it. I guarantee it's not even gonna be worth the hype. Uh, I still want to know if we're gonna get I don't know if my theater is getting Toxic Avenger. I hope we're getting Toxic Avenger at the end of the month. I don't know if we are. I might have to seek out a movie theater Probably maybe an hour for me to maybe go see it. Maybe I don't know. But that's for Strange Harvest. I'll be back tomorrow and next few days with Freakier Friday. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later.